What I want to cover in this video is the ability that humans have to work with everything from distractions such as prey like squirrels, rats, rabbits, depending on where you are. Here in New York City we have a lot of squirrels and birds, but really working with drives such as prey drives, working with distractions, implementing impulse control. This is something that I consider a very important issue, something that I have taken measures to work on with my dog, and you can see that while some people might think he's a perfect dog, no dog is really perfect. There's always stuff that can be worked on. The example that I use in the video with prey drive and squirrels is just an example. What's important for all you guys to see is how it can relate to you. It's the same fundamental with a dog who doesn't know how to act and lunges when he goes after dogs. It's the same fundamental for a dog that doesn't know how to stay. The excitement of kids, the excitement of people teaching a dog not to do something on his own. Just because they want to do it, just because they might love it, doesn't mean that it's acceptable. Chasing squirrels is not acceptable all the time. If I'm walking a dog on a leash, or any dog, and I see a friend and all of a sudden I go over here and I get jerked because he sees a squirrel, my excuse, or I shouldn't make an excuse to all my human friends and say, oh, well, he loves squirrels, so there's nothing we can do about it, because that's not true. They can learn time, place, when, and where, just like we teach that with our kids, just like we teach that with humans, we can teach that with dogs. Dogs want to please you, you just have to show them what it is that you want. For this video, I used my dog who has a very strong prey drive, but again, it can relate to anything. For some people that are under the impression that certain drives and certain things like this can't be fixed or can't be worked on, this video shows different. A lot of people give up and they think, oh, just because it's a pit bull, it's gonna be aggressive. Just because it's a puppy, they're gonna do that. So they start making excuses. But this is something that's important for people to see. He loves squirrels, he runs and plays, but if we're on a leash and I'm just walking him to the park, I don't wanna be walking over here and then all of a sudden get jerked because he sees a squirrel across the street, have him cross the street and get hit by a car. So what I'm gonna do here, come here. I call him over here. Come here. So you can see he's still focused on me. So go sit. Good boy. If I give him the okay, if it's in a safe area, because he loves to chase squirrels, he's not gonna catch it. If God forbid he does have a release command. But the squirrels are around the trees, so I know it's okay to release them. I want to show you that you do have control over their motivations, their drives, regardless of what the breed is. Yeah, so go get him. So he just wants to play. If you call when he probably wouldn't know what to do with him. But you see he's in that playful state, you see the tail's curled, he's doing his own thing. He can be in that state. This has to be practice. He can be in this crazy state doing his own thing. And I can show you right now, so good! When he comes over here, you can turn it on, you can turn it off. Hey, come here. Come here. Sit. Good boy, down. So it can end there. This is part of the practice. This is part of the rehabilitation for him. Because you can see, he sees that squirrel over there. Okay, good. Up. It doesn't have to be like that 20%. If you're walking on a leash, and I'll show you this right now, we're actually gonna get to the leash. So go! Come here, buddy. Close. Come here. Good boy. Sit. Practice makes perfect. So the important thing is that he can see it and not react. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how I can walk away. You see he is alert, but I'm trying to get him to realize it's not a big deal. Okay. But you see that the drive is there. It's the same thing he's looking for, and my goal is a couple of corrections just to keep him moving forward. He can look, he's not reacting, show the leash. Leash is very loose, he's still following. This isn't perfect, but the fact that he's doing it, that's the practice that he goes through. So it shows you no dog is perfect. This is not set up. You see that he is on that alert, especially after we sent them after him. It's no different than when you teach a dog to stay. Sometimes they anticipate that you're gonna let them cheat, so they stay for a little bit and they go on their own. It's very important when you teach a dog to stay that you don't always have him come to you. Sometimes you have him stay and you walk over to him so he doesn't anticipate on his own what the next step is. Because what he kind of wants to do is anticipate that I'm gonna give him the okay. But the practice here is after that's done, it's done, so that he understands that he doesn't get the okay, he doesn't do it on his own. So go. And again, focus on the leash. The leash is loose, he is looking around, but he's following the leash, which is important. This hasn't really been practiced before, but when I give him some sort of release, the release that I'm giving him is to have him come to me. So we're gonna see if he's gonna go after the squirrel or he's gonna come to me. Now again, this is not rehearsed, so it could go the wrong way. We're gonna see what happens though. What I want you guys to see is my error. Notice what he's fixated on. He's fixated and he's focused on the squirrel while I'm busy talking to the camera. I decide essentially to reward that state of mind while he's fixated on this by saying something. At that point, any sound was gonna set him off. So what I should have did was snapped him out of that state and then given him the direction to come to me. Instead, I essentially rewarded it by saying Soko, when he was in that excited state, set him right off into going after the squirrel. Soko, hey! You see, so that's not perfect, but this is what you practiced. So we'll get the squirrel back, we'll try it again. Of course, I'm not taking these measures and rushing into this until I achieve other things, so you have to start slow. But in order to get perfection, you have to work towards it. We're gonna try to get my dog to come to me when he gets the release command and not lose focus when he gets excited, because that's what the practice is. You want to practice on low levels before you raise the excitement level. Releasing him on his own is raising, hey! That's the correction that he responded to, which is good. Sit. I'm actually gonna bring him on back. The second time around, what you see is he looks at me for a second, I give him the direction, then I call him over, works like a charm. Down. Close. Good boy. Come here. Ah. Close. Sit. Down. You speak? You say bye for the camera? Speak. So again, what I always stress is the state of mind that's more important than anything else. If a dog's in the right state, you have to realize what you're rewarding. If a dog's in the wrong state and knows a command that he might know on a less excited level, you have to build to that. These are things that have been practiced step by step by step. You know, growing up with Soko as a dog, I didn't know much about dog behavior. This is stuff that I'm learning every day. So you can see that there are things that he struggles with, there's things that I'm learning every day, and this is something that I strive to perfect with my dog, just like I strive to perfect with any other dog with what they might be struggling with. It's something that can be taught. Dogs are intelligent enough to understand pattern. And if the pattern is, every time I see this, this is how I act, and my owner doesn't work me through it, then that's what the dog learns to do, and it becomes an acceptable behavior.